I was given the mentally ill treatment no matter what. I tried getting somebody at all, to help me. But no, they all had their own ideas and their own grand plans of what I should be doing. None of these people bothered to think about what it is that I had lost. None of these people bothered to think to themselves, oh, gee, maybe there's a reason that Sean Schwartz doesn't come around anymore. Maybe there is a reason that Sean isn't here in Boulder. But no, none of them fucking cared, and that's the problem, is that no matter what the law says, if you don't care, nobody's gonna follow the fucking law. My dad, he didn't give two holy shit about listening to a goddamn thing I had to say. No matter what, it's always what Brian wants, Brian wants, Brian wants. You're gonna do what fucking Brian wants, or Brian is going to destroy your fucking life. Brian knows how to destroy your life, so don't fuck with Brian Schwartz. Well, here's the thing, Brian Schwartz wanted control. Allowing him that control because he was not going to keep his word. I allowed Brian Schwartz to have his way. Because I had no vehicle, I had no roof over my head, I had no place to stay, I had nowhere to go with my evidence. And that evidence needed to be fucking looked at. All my dad did was abuse me. Every opportunity to look at evidence, he just wanted to turn into an abusive fucking asshole. That's how it always is. Lanny Engeline, she wanted to distract me. I didn't need fucking distracted. I needed help showing fucking evidence. This shit got fucking out of hand over a year before Natalie was fucking killed, and nobody gave a holy fucking goddamn. Still, nobody gives a holy fucking goddamn. Guess who does work together, though? See, while we should have a common goal of making sure that these things don't happen to anyone else, my enemies do have a common goal. While those who are going to help me, their common goal is hiding everything. Hiding their names, hiding their numbers, hiding the things that they say to me. Wanting everything to be kept fucking secret. No, it doesn't get to be kept secret. You do not get to keep it a secret from the fucking police or the courts. I told every one of you that from the start. Abso-fucking-lutely not. You either help me turn in the fucking evidence or you are fucking gaslighting me. Do not tell me you want to be my fucking friend. You're not. Don't send me fucking friend requests if you're not going to look at evidence and help me to fucking share it. See, that's the thing, is that I don't have those technical skills. I don't have them. Everybody I know knows how to do that shit. Nobody will show me how to do it. I have to fucking look at video after video after video trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Just show me, Jesus Christ. That's the difference between a video and a person who is there in person. If their thumbs are moving too fast and they're pressing the keys too fast and you didn't see what the fuck they did, you can have them back the fuck up and show you again. And yeah, you can do that on a YouTube video, but damn, that shit sucks. Type slower. Y'all tell me about all these options that are on there. You're not showing me where they're at. You're telling me about all of these different apps that you want me to download. I am no good at electronic shit. I am no fucking good at it. Stop telling me what to do and actually help me. I've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars in person for people to help me in person. For them just to be fucking drunk or fucked up on meth or be on a fucking power trip. That's the problem with being in a subservient situation. That makes you a vulnerable adult. I mean, every single card that you could stack against me is stacked against me. Meanwhile, I am being harmed by the public because of this shit. And the courts and my friends even have done everything that they can to try to destroy evidence. And guess what? I saved evidence of that too. I have the evidence. It's a matter of getting someone to fucking look at it in person. Do you have any idea how much fucking effort it takes and how much time it takes for me to take somebody's phone number out of a fucking screenshot? Why don't you just fucking come forward about it to begin with so I don't have to post your shit up? If you'd admit that you said it to begin with, I wouldn't have had to fucking post you saying it on my fucking YouTube channel. This is not what I want to fucking do. I can't take care of myself. How fucking difficult is it to understand that I cannot take care of myself? I cannot do any of the things that you are asking me to do. I am incapable. That is not a choice. Rather than help me with that, people victimize the shit out of me. Yes, Sean, I'll help you. I'll help you. Here, give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your time. Give me your time. Oh, I won't show up, but sure, Sean, I'll help. I'll help. I'll help. By the grace of God, by the grace of God. All these fucking Christians telling me, by the grace of God, and bless you, and yeah, Sean, I will. And then what happens in the end? They show their Jesus. They show their Jesus to be a crock of crap. It's all BS. It's a fucking tool of manipulation. And that's all it's ever been. No matter what religion. It's Saturday. I won't be able to do anything for most of this crap until Monday. But I could try to get one of these people who claim that they would help me to actually sit down and take a look. Sit down with me so that I know that they look. That's the thing, is that people are fucking lazy. They'll say, oh, I saw it. No, you didn't see it. You saw that it exists. Beyond that, did you read what was there? My little sister coming over all fucked up on drugs. And I can't think of it any other way. I really can't. That's all she's showing me is fucking intense drug use and fucking paranoia. I mean, the whole time she was doing that bullshit, those fucking meth cams. The whole thing going through my head is, holy shit, my little sister's on fucking meth. But then I'm telling myself, well, you know what? Don't assume that. You know, with everything that you're going through, Sean, there's a possibility that people are fucking with Tara too. Then I'm looking at her evidence and I'm going, Jesus, the worst she's got is vandalism here. She doesn't have any video of anybody doing it. No fingerprints, no nothing. Zero evidence. She's got cameras that show absolutely nothing and nobody there for forever and a day. And she just sits there fucking twacks out of her goddamn door watching these cameras. I can't think of it any other way. Now, I didn't want to think of it that way, but according to my sister, Riley Sr. was talking to her about her selling meth. Now, if Riley Sr. is talking to her about it, there's probably some validity to those rumors. Now, Ed, that's the guy who destroyed an entire computer's worth of evidence. Yeah, Ed fucked up pretty big. And he also said the same thing as Riley Sr. You're really hot today. Yes, sir, it is. So I don't take any stock into what Ed says. I really can't. After what I know of the situation, I mean, I got 9.5 hours of recording. There's only about 3 hours of recording that's on my YouTube between me and my sister and Ed and Nora. Most of it's private information. The problem is I don't have a place to process it. I am constantly on the move, trying to find a place where I am not victimized, where I have a place to process these things, where my disabilities don't prevent me from being able to do those things for myself. I can't take this shit into the library to work on it. A little bit of I'm capable of. A little bit of it. But it takes forever to set up, and if I have to walk away, I have to walk away. Most of the work that I have to do involves making phone calls And all phone calls do need to be recorded. Anybody who's going to say, oh, you can't record me. No, you step the fuck off right now. You are a fucking scammer. Leave me alone. You're not being supportive if you're not helping me fight this. There's a lady who said she'll look at evidence. She's in a different fucking country altogether. She ain't even in the United States, but she says she'll look and she'll spread the information. I don't believe her because of the shit that she's already typed. She's one of those I'm sorry people. Chances are pretty good. It's just entertainment. I'm pretty sure that she's from India. And part of the reason for that is because one of the ones that was made in the last few weeks about Natalie Bollinger was made in India. And this lady, well, I do want to say that I believe on her profile it said Bali. And I'm not exactly sure where Bali is. I'm pretty good at geography, but I don't know everything. I'm not going to pretend I know everything. The things I know, I know. If there's something I think I know, but I'm not sure about, I'll look it up. I like looking things up because I don't like to be wrong. I don't. Not when lives are at stake. When lives are at stake, it pays to be right. It pays to know your information. When it comes to saving lives, you have to stow your ego. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. Sometimes you got to do things that are going to get you hated in order to save lives. But God damn it, it's worth it. For all these people, their everlasting shame isn't the fact that I came forward. It's the fact that they didn't come forward first. When did I record Miss Peaches and show that what I was being called schizophrenic for from her was the truth? It was actually true. Those were true stories. They weren't made up. She did actually exist and does actually exist. She's a real human being that I know who is really involved in these situations the way that I said, and our conversations prove it. But she ain't the only one. That's the problem, is that all of America treats somebody who is called mentally ill the same way. Like they don't matter. Sure, you're one of those social niceties people. You're the one who wants to be politically correct. You're what's known as a bullshitter. You come at us sideways. Oh, you intend well. You intend well with your words because you know you're supposed to. Socially, you have to keep up that nice person image. Socially, yeah, you'll promise somebody something that you never, ever intend on fulfilling. And you know, you can just make something up every time it comes time to keep your word. Now, these people who never came forward and they're claiming illnesses and deaths in the family and all this, that, and the other. And of course, the cops want to make claims otherwise. Well, there's a big problem with that. If the cops are claiming that I didn't try to get help, and obviously I did, and you are living proof, and you've got some excuse every time, after you say that you're going to do something, you've always got some excuse why you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. You can't speak up. A lot of these people said they couldn't write a police report. They didn't know how. They didn't know how. Of course, after they got busted gaslighting, they sure as hell knew how to lie on a police report and get it turned in. Immediately. It didn't take them fucking 7 months of fucking lying to me. There's all these people that claim that they cared, and they're telling me stuff like, oh, well, I wasn't there, I wasn't there. You know what? Most of the people who wrote shit down in my police reports, and in some of them, Absolutely all of the people who wrote stuff down that did not exist, did not happen, and you are proof of it. Your words prove it. Your words prove that they lied, and so do their words. Their words already prove that they lied. It shows that they lied to me on multiple occasions about their situations, and there's a lot of situations. You guys saying that this is something that if I just ignore it, then it'll go away. No, you're not fucking listening. There is a cult following on this, and thank goodness this story deserves to be heard. But both sides need to be heard, and actual evidence needs to be looked at. And when an at-risk adult is trying to turn in predators, instead of cutting them off from the resources and trying to destroy evidence, you need to help them to fucking turn it in. They are an at-risk adult. This is what you need to do. If an at-risk adult is being abused, you do not abuse them further. You help them. Why was Shannon Alvarado abusive? Because she's a fucking alcoholic. Was she abusive to me? Yes, she was. She was highly abusive to me. Highly fucking abusive. Now, while I was staying with her, she wasn't highly abusive. She was highly neglectful most of the time, and there were a few occasions where I had spoken up about her alcoholism and how she treats people when she's drinking, where she definitely got abusive, but not physically. With my dad calling me up to harass me, I got shit that I need actual help with. And what he did was literally fuck with me for a whole goddamn week and go out of his way to show he is the biggest pussy on earth. See, that's one of the big things with my dad. You can go back and listen to the conversations between him and I. He admits it. Thank goodness. At least that he's willing to admit. But now he wants to play like I told him to get out of my way so I could leave, and he just got out of the way. No, he did not. He refused. He absolutely had to berate and bully and harass and threaten and yell. Anything except look at the fucking evidence. Anything except keep his word. And then he wants to pretend I'm a bad guy because after I left there, I recorded him in 2 more phone calls and I posted them up live. Not my fault he was stupid. That was back in 2019. So you can go back on my YouTube and you can find it. And you can listen for yourself. There's a lot of stuff that when people know that they're being recorded, like my dad did, and you'll hear that in those recordings too. He admitted that he knew he was being recorded. The first time that I talked to him before I went to Washington State, he did not know he was being recorded. And that was the one time ever in my entire life he actually pretended to give a shit. That's the one time in my entire life he actually genuinely seemed to listen. Of course, he forgot everything by the time I got there. It wasn't important to him. Out of sight, out of mind. Just like those people in Boulder, out of sight, out of mind. You guys are fond of telling me stuff. Oh, it's easily said. Oh, Sean, you just need to find better friends. You know what? Most of you wouldn't give me the time of day. I'm autistic and I have Tourette's syndrome. Normal people avoid me like the plague. They treat me like I'm a druggie or an alcoholic or some sort of a psycho. But you know who doesn't treat me like that? Druggies and alcoholics and psychos. They're the only people that accept me. But then again, they're not much help. Do you know why? Well, because they're not sober. And because most of them harbor a lot more hate and rage that I'm actually not capable of having. I have to pretend. And don't get me wrong, it's not like being embarrassed, because I'm not capable of being embarrassed. I do have anger. Everyone has anger. Having anger is not an issue. It's not. Defending yourself is not an anger issue, ever. No matter who tries to peg it that way. And they will try to peg it that way. It doesn't come down to the evidence. It comes down to who cares. Who fucking cares? Who helped me to organize this stuff? Why was I repeatedly dumped in fucking shitty situations with people who weren't going to help? You're going to tell me, yeah, these people are going to help the way that you need, Sean. And then I would get there. And how the fuck are they going to be capable? And all these places I'm being sent to and told that these complete strangers are going to help. And I get there and they're the most fucked up environments. And people are like, hey man, could you buy some weed? Could you buy some booze? Could you buy some food? Bought myself a chair at Sally Treon's because there was nowhere to sit. So I bought myself a chair and then I still ended up having to sit on the floor. And I'm thankful for the things that people did. I really am. But some people got pissed off at really, really stupid stuff. Like, of course, here I am. My best friend's been shot in the head. I'm being shipped around from shitty situation to shitty situation. And Lana Ingline wants to throw a fucking tantrum at me because I said Miss Jerry bought me a ticket when Lana had actually bought it. I'm sorry, that is not a big fucking mistake to make. That's not like going, all right, well, Ted Bollinger raped his own daughter, so I'm going to say that Brian Schwartz raped his own daughter. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to do that. Brian Schwartz doesn't have a fucking daughter. If I'm talking about Brian Schwartz and there's something with Ted pops up, I may accidentally say the wrong name, especially if I'm flustered. The more flustered I am, the worse it is. Now, I'm going to give you an example of me trying to get help about the situation with Natalie before she was killed. So Joanna Taylor Smith had been in contact with me, and she knew Maddie Boa, and I was trying to sit down and actually meet with her and talk to her in person because she wouldn't listen to me. Obviously, nobody knows how to fucking listen. That's too much fucking work. You'd rather make a bunch of fucking shitty assumptions and throw them at someone, and you don't care how frustrating that is. How much that makes the other person want to fucking kill themselves. Because you want to tell them they just need to love themselves. You're going to assume that I don't love myself. That's my problem? I don't love myself? I am trying to protect myself from actual harm that is actually happening, and you want to pretend that it all comes down to me not loving myself? Are you fucking stupid? Yes, you are, Joanna Taylor Smith. That is not an acceptable way to treat a human being. What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, I was learning how to blacksmith. She wanted a hammer, so I made her a hammer. I took the hammer over to give it to her, and I tried to explain to her about the situation. She was going to try to make time. There was an argument between her and Derek. Had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. At all. But then, of course, I tried to speak up, and one word did not come out perfectly. And he spent like 3 days trying to start a fight, trying to have a physical altercation. I hate violence. I hate it. So when I say that I have hate, I absolutely do. I hate violence. I hate it with a passion. Physically harming another human being is fucking horrible. I'm okay with property damage, though. If your First Amendment right is not being heard, if you are being abused by the courts and by the public, and you are never allowed to show evidence, and you are prevented from having the means to even take care of yourself, let alone protect yourself. And all of it costs money. Everybody's suggestions, they think that I got $1 million in my pocket. They just want to make suggestion. They got a little tiny tidbit that'll allow them to try to fucking weasel their way out of fucking being honest. And they'll fucking push that. And they'll do it in texting. Going out of their way to misinterpret literally everything that you say. So why fucking bother? Well, because they're fucking witnesses and they're pieces of shit to boot. You know how that situation with Derek Parrish ended up? First of all, it ended up with me wasting 3 days of my life to be fucking verbally accosted and abused by Derek because one word didn't come out right and he didn't want to take it out on his girlfriend. Well, fine, whatever, dude. I can leave, and I did. But with all of these people, between finding out what the fuck has been going on and talking over me, telling me how to think and how to feel, giving me shitty, they want to call it advice. I don't need advice. I need them to fucking speak up. When I went to them for help, did I or did I not go to them for help? And why the fuck did they treat me like shit? And the more they treated me like shit, the more trauma reactions I had. And I'm not allowed to have those because I have a penis. None of these people cared enough about me to look. None of them cared enough about me to speak up and tell the truth. And then they all want to play victim when they're on my YouTube channel. They want to use their kids to manipulate me. Oh, Sean, people are threatening my kids. People are threatening to kill my kids. Well, you know what? They pushed me to attempt suicide doing that shit. Between me needing somebody to help me to turn this shit in and the fucking head games that people were fucking playing with me. Like, holy hell. When you got literally hundreds of people trying to get into contact with you and harass you and threaten you, and then you've got your quote-unquote friends who won't shut the fuck up and listen. All of them got 10,000 different ideas of what you should be doing, but not a goddamn one is actually helping you to do any of those things. And then there's the aftermath. Since doing that shit to me, most of these people have ended up in pretty shitty situations themselves and didn't have anybody and wanted to reach out to me. Oh, nope. Too fucking late, asshole. I can't be there to help you because you were not there to help me. In Boulder, Colorado, I helped people for years. For years. Because if I didn't, things were bad for all of us. You got my friends killed. You got my loved ones killed. When these fucking predators said that they were gonna fucking harass me and not leave me alone, they meant it. And they've kept it up since before Natalie was killed. I wanted to get this shit fucking squashed, but no. That doesn't work. If you pick the right victim, everybody will fucking help you. Everybody hates the homeless. Everyone. The homeless must be this and the homeless must be that. And our predators, in most of our cases, our own families, they prey on that. They absolutely prey on that. On bias, on assumptions, on mythology. And you think it's okay to blanket all of us. It's not okay to shoot all black people for being black, but it's okay to shoot all homeless for being homeless. You target black people, it's a hate crime. You target the homeless, well shit. People will allow their fucking sexual predators, the people that literally raped them, they'll allow those people to get away just so they can take their shit out on a homeless person. Because they can get away with it with a homeless person. For most of us, our predators, were they people that were subservient to us? Like, how many babysitters were raped by the kid they were babysitting? Doesn't happen very often. Those kids are the ones in the subservient position. Isn't it more likely that the person in the subservient position is going to be the one abused? Yes. Statistically, yes, because that person has no power. They have no rights in those situations. That's the problem with being an at-risk adult. You have no rights. You are constantly forced into one subservient situation after another where everybody thinks that they're right. Nobody wants to listen, and everybody wants to punish you. Punish you if you don't do what they want right when they want it. All these people who want to tell me to be patient, really, I was patient. I was patient. I was patient, and you forced me to do drastic and desperate things. And then you want it down now. If it's the truth, you wouldn't want it down. If you told me the truth, you'd want to say that stuff in court. Those of you who wanted to weasel your way into my life and pretend like you were going to help me and use your kids as a fucking tool to manipulate me. No, that's not okay, Sarah Bacon. That's not okay, Carl Rogers. Yeah, these people got plenty of excuses after the fact. Most of them, it's just they didn't want to get in trouble. If these people were targeted, I want to see the proof of it. All somebody's got to do is look at the fucking evidence with me. It's a fucking no-brainer. They can see where the laws were broken. They can see where I was lied to repeatedly, and where literally the same officers repeatedly kept on changing the laws. Whatever they could change it to make it so I couldn't turn it in or so that it was somebody else's job. When I was able to get somebody else to go with me, these officers pretended like they were going to investigate, but they never did. They never went over and investigated Robert Warnick for the threats against my life. Never even tried. Same thing with Christopher Kurth. And they weren't going to. There was a conflict of interest. There's recording after recording with me explaining that to Nebraska State Patrol, while Nebraska State Patrol tells me it's not their job, they don't police the police. And this is after I've been told by the Nebraska Attorney General's office to go to the Nebraska State Patrol, and Nebraska State Patrol kept on going back and forth between it's not their job and, oh, well, you need to go to Troop E, you need to go to Troop C, you need to go to Troop F. They just ship me around from one troop to another saying it's always somebody else's jurisdiction. All they did was fuck around, and that's the problem, is that I need people to... You good? Man had some brake problems, almost ran into me, but guess what? His brakes worked. Sadly. My dad needed to stop trying to throw shit at me and call it help. No, he needs to find out what's going on or nothing is going to help. And he needs to admit that he fucked up. And he's not going to do that. Too much pride in the way. Too much ego. He doesn't care if I'm killed. He doesn't care if I commit suicide. He's trying to push me to it. By literally doing only things that he knows push me to suicide. He already knows these things. That's the thing about knowing someone well enough to figure out their triggers and to press them repeatedly. So my dad wants to go out of his way to throw shit in my face so that he can say, oh, look, see, I offered Sean help. You wouldn't take it. Really? You weren't offering help because you weren't listening. You were wasting my time and playing fucking victim. playing like I might. Oh, I'm petrified of Sean. You better be. You better be petrified. I'm not going to shut up until I'm heard or dead. Now, maybe Brian Schwartz will get lucky. Maybe he'll get lucky and I'll never be heard, or I'll end up dead tomorrow. Maybe he'll get lucky and die of a massive heart attack tomorrow and never have to face the consequences. But as you know, just because somebody's dead doesn't mean I'm not going to show the truth. Natalie Bollinger is dead. I still show the truth with her. Rhiannon Ingersoll is dead. I still show the truth with her. Stephen McMillian is dead. I still show the truth with him. I still show the truth. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.